Salutations. It's the Tiger Songbird here. And I know haven't really been on here much. This is really kind of a reintroduction video to Substack for the people who have actually seen me before on Substack. It's been a while since I've been up here, probably over a year. But I felt like no time better than the present to really come back onto the Substack and just share my thoughts because I really wanted to share my 2 cents on some issues I haven't really talked about. I've been kind of MIA when it comes to discussing things on asexuality. People who know me know I'm a gigantic writer about asexuality. I've written for years and covered asexuality on multiple platforms, especially online. And I just want to do it more in real life because I feel like there's no better time than the present, and that asexuality just doesn't get talked about enough um, across different platforms, and it just doesn't get talked about at all really in any conversations, especially in mainstream conversations. So I feel like I just want to share my thoughts on this, and then also I wanted to come back on because I really want to share and build community with people. And then also I'm going to be back on here doing my trivia thing, where I'm going to do some more trivia content and actually do some hopefully weekly uploads with regards to doing some more trivia content and sharing some, cool stuff with that. Because I'm a big trivia guy, and people who know me in real life and know me in person know that I really love, my trivia, and that I'm gonna, start doing it because I'm a writer of it at the same time, and I actually got out of writing a tournament of champions that was on Discord, so that was really fun, and I want to really keep that going, that momentum going, and eventually, turn my trivia into a full time career. So let's just kind of get into it. And I feel like, with the news going on, I really wanted to share my thoughts. Obviously, if you haven't paid attention to the news, there's been a little bit of news regarding asexuality, kind of getting a lot of generated buzz across the internet and some, regular, mainstream television circles where it's around Keke Palmer, who just came out and said that she is 100% sure she's asexual. And that's like really big news. I first thought was I was really excited to hear that. It was awesome. I follow Keke Palmer's career since she's on Nickelodeon. I grew up with Keke Palmer as a little kid and Akila the Bee, and I've just really love her career. And then she was on Password, and she's been fantastic as a host across multiple platforms. And I think at one point she actually hosted Yasmin Benoit on her platform as well to discuss asexuality. So it just feels full circle to kind of go into that mold of thinking like, hey, Keke Palmer is asexual. She's had instances where she's, described herself as queer and not really wanting to, divulge into too much because she's been discovering. And then now, to hear that she came out as asexual, it's a really big deal. So I'm really was excited to hear this. And then I wanted to share my thoughts because apparently with this excitement comes a lot of pushback and anger and rage for some reason on the internet where people have just been up in arms about Keke Palmer, coming out and, declaring who she is and that she's ace. And somehow that makes people irate or just, frustrated or for some reason, whenever someone comes out as ace, they just get so irate on the internet. I mean, I talked about this and how, much discrimination asexuals get. I have an entire Twitter thread I made. I have an entire post I've made. I made a reaction to when J.K. Rowling last year for International Asexuality Day decided to just do her troll bit regarding asexuality. So I don't understand what it is about a lot of people who just get up in arms about this. When someone says they're asexual, I don't understand why it's such an affront to them. It's such a thing that makes them indignant and pretty much rancorous when they do that. But um, I'm just really excited to share that news. I'm really excited to hear Keke Palmer doing that. A lot of people have been trying to say, well, she's gotten out of a bad relationship and that's why she's claiming she's asexual. And it's like, there are a lot of people who get out of bad relationships and are not asexual. It could just be one and the other. It could be just that Kiki is discovering. I know for a fact that I didn't discover I'm asexual until I was 26. And I don't understand why people get up in arms when someone discovers they're asexual later in life, especially when asexuality is just not talked about at all in any generated circles. It's almost an afterthought, even in LGBTQ plus circles. So I don't get why people get so angry about that. Like, well, and they're asexual, I guess maybe they just get mad because they maybe find Keke Palmer someone that they would like to potentially have sex with, and now that takes Keke Palmer off as an option. I don't know. Even though asexual people can still have sex, which is another thing that they got mad about too, because she's been in a relationship and apparently has had sex before, and that's something that they just can't get their minds wrapped around, that somehow people have sex and it may not be an attraction thing because people are often told they have to do this, especially as in, in our culture where compulsory sexuality is just a thing where everyone is supposed to do it, or everybody's doing it, or everyone's got to have sex by this age, or if you're not having sex by this age then you're being a societal loser or something like that, like the 40-year-old virgin, or Never Been Kissed with Josie Geller, Drew Barrymore's character. I've discussed that before, and I know I felt that pressure, and I've had that pressure on me before, even though I've never had sex and I've never dated a day in my life. I'm 36 to this day. I don't understand why it's so perplexing for so many people to think that some people find out they're asexual later in life. Maybe if we had open discussions about asexuality in sex ed conversations and human sexuality courses in college, uh, maybe more people would actually know who they are earlier. And I wish I did. Um, and that it wouldn't have taken me that many years to have discovered the truth of who I am, and that this is me, that, there's nothing wrong with who I am, that I'm asexual. There's a word for it. There's a place that I belong to. There's a community that I belong in. There are people who exactly feel the same way I do. Um, I don't understand why that's so tragic to actually teach. It's something I don't understand, something I'll never understand. But anyway, I'm just excited because Keke Palmer just, has found out, discovered, and is now a member of the ace community and the asexual community. As a member of the asexual community, I just welcome Keke with open arms. And if she needs cake and garlic bread, um, we got plenty. So just happy for Keke, and welcome Keke. Um, and I hope you guys have an excellent day. And this is Tiger Songbird signing off.